These teen takeovers are starting to look apocalyptic. I mean, look at this. These scenes all look like that famous scene in World War Z, a zombie movie.
Another teen takeover in downtown Detroit, and this time the violence ended with a shooting that left a 14-year-old child injured.
Here they are pushing back a police car in Chicago. Like, what is this? And then there's this in Norfolk, Virginia. This doesn't even look real.
A fiery, chaotic scene Sunday night on Redgate Avenue. New video shared with 10 on your side shows a person doing donuts nearly hitting the bystanders recording. Then as people stand around, a firework is set off right on the road, barely missing those around it.
This woman couldn't believe what she was seeing from her home.
This is the shit that's going on my fucking block. Come outside, motherfucker standing on top of your car, throwing ass, shaking ass. You tell them get up off of your car, they want to get fucking ignorant with you. Take y'all ass the fuck on. Take y'all ass the fuck on. Come get y'all motherfucking baby kids. Fuck.
So as the teen takeover phenomenon continues to spread and nobody does anything but talk about how the community needs to come together and yada yada yada.
We need to start investing more in our communities and our families.
It's the responsibility of the community, of our neighborhood leaders.
You can kiss your beloved first world country goodbye.
This Infiniti, likely stolen, finally broke down from all the spinning. Then a mob jumped on it and set it on fire.
Without a worry in the world, the brazen looters grab everything in sight. Cookies, candy, chips, just about every item of merchandise. This dude got really aggressive, flinging bananas at the clerk who was hiding in the corner of the store. Then this guy jumped the counter, throwing cartons of cigarettes to the crowd. The free-for-all wasn't done yet. They tried to steal the cash register and grabbed as many lotto tickets as they could. They all rushed out of the store with their loot before police got there.
By now, you may have seen some of the teen takeover in Lakeview late Monday night. Many here jumped off the red line at Belmont, soon blocking traffic and jumping on cars. No violence, but disruption and damage.
CPD officers worked to control the crowd and move them out of the area, but the teens left behind a path of destruction. People were horrified by the extent of the damage this morning. Shoe prints on cars, hoods dented, windshields broken.
It's terrifying.
An official start to summer took a violent turn over the weekend. Concerns are now growing after 5 Chicago police officers were injured during a so-called teen takeover early Sunday morning. Gunfire and massive crowds brought dozens of police officers to the area of Roosevelt and Loomis on Sunday morning. And while they were breaking up the crowd, a car hit 5 officers. All are expected to recover. That's the good news. The city's summer safety plan revolved around beefing up the police presence around trouble spots to prevent these types of situations. Mayor Brandon Johnson says police alone won't fix the issue.
That there were individuals that were hanging out after 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. We need our parents to know where their children are, right? And as much as we're creating opportunity for individuals, the accountability mechanism cannot just be with teenagers.
And CPD has confirmed at least 13 people were arrested, including an 18-year-old driver.
Spontaneous teen takeovers are popping up.
Teen takeover.
Teen takeovers.
Teen takeovers. Let me ask you a question. How do they know it's a teen takeover? Because they can use their eyes and recognize that the people who are there are teens? Well, if you use those same eyes, what else can you discern about 99% of the teens in these takeover videos? That's right, they're all black teens, but you're not allowed to make that observation. No, these are just teens. Don't notice anything else. So why does it matter what race they are? I can hear a liberal shriek. Simple. How can you solve a problem if you're unwilling to admit what the problem is? After yet another teen takeover in Florida, this time a wild one in Tampa Bay, James Fishback, a candidate for governor of Florida, went off at this press conference.
it was not a teen takeover. What happened here on Friday night was a riot. We are not going to be able to address this issue because we're denying what it truly is. It's quite fitting that members of the media, including some here today, had no issue calling the events of January 6th a violent insurrection, when in fact no one was charged with insurrection. One thing that we have to confront is that black youth violence is a problem in Florida. The truth of the matter is that the group here on Friday night was almost exclusively young and black. There's something to be said about the root causes that lead a 12-year-old who was arrested here on Friday night to riot without parental supervision. 72% of black kids born today will be born to an unmarried mother. I'm here to announce 3 policies that would take effect immediately if I were governor. We will be charging anyone who participates in a so-called teen takeover with Florida State Statute 870-01, a third-degree felony of rioting. I'm also going to instruct state attorneys, including right here in the 13th Judicial Circuit, to make it so that any teen who is charged with aggravated rioting is charged as an adult. Number 2, we're going to stand up a social media youth disruption unit tasked by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement in my first month as governor to lawfully and constitutionally monitor incitement and threats of riots like the one took place here, to disrupt them before they begin, and that includes me as governor activating the Florida National Guard. And number 3, what I'm going to direct the Florida Department of Law Enforcement to do is to convene a 5-person panel of law enforcement, business leaders, and most importantly, our church leaders, to look at the root causes of black youth crime and to prepare a report to give to me as the governor within my first 90 days. There are real opportunity gaps in low-income communities here in Tampa. There's no doubting that. But an opportunity gap is not an excuse to riot. To the youth that were here on Friday night, let me make a very clear warning. Rioting has a 3-year statute of limitation. If I see a single kid from here on out participating in a so-called teenage takeover from the time that I am sworn in as governor, I will retroactively have the state attorney's office charge you with rioting, and we are going to throw the book at you. You have been warned. We have 3 years to charge you, and we can definitely charge you.
Bro, somebody needs to take this page down like right now, bro, because they keep posting like these and that, bro, especially this one. Why are we going across, you guys? And then they post stuff like this on their story. Like, are you serious? Can we make this longer and better than May Plaza? Go home, like, now, because over the summer, all the innocent teenagers that are trying just to hang out with their friends, not gonna have any place to do it because you guys are gonna ruin everything. Look at this. This is ridiculous, bro. This person messaged Cross County and Cross, like, they got the Yonkers Police Department there, right? And they're like, this don't stop us, keep it going. Guys, are you serious? And then they have the audacity to put "we don't promote violence" on their bio.
Chipotle, the trampoline park, the community pool, the middle of the road, McDonald's, a regular park, a movie theater, the amusement park, the mall. It's majority black teenagers. We have to be honest and real about this conversation, and that also includes highlighting the bad parenting that is at play and how we can't just keep saying, oh, it's the kids, it's also the parents too. Because as much as I want to blame the kids for being rowdy and acting insane and just acting ridiculous, we also have to ask, okay, how did they get ridiculous? How did they get rowdy? How are these teenagers growing up with this sense of just, I don't care about anything? How did we get there? That's what we're going to discuss in this video, and let this video be a reminder that you're not alone for thinking the way that you do. So if you like this type of honest and real commentary, be sure to subscribe. It helps the channel grow a ton, and let's just go.
Bro, somebody needs to take...
First off, Dollar Tree, Target. This is what they're doing. They're going to ChatGPT and all these like AI websites, and they're building up a flyer, and they have Instagram pages, TikTok pages, and they just highlight, hey, we're going to take over this area. And ultimately, it just means everybody meet up and just, there's so many of you guys who are just like that rowdy, you're that crazy. But it seems to be inevitable that there's always a fight that happens. There may be a shooting, there's stealing, there's looting. It's just always a disaster for some reason. But this is how it all comes to be. And this page says we don't promote violence, and then you see one that says kill. Come on now. But I can see how they get so many people in one area because of social media. Whereas I feel like back in the day, early 2000s, early 2010s, if you met up with your friends or you were going somewhere, it was typically just that school or the neighboring school, and that's it. You didn't have the whole town. You didn't have all the different high schools coming together to do something. If you were saying, oh, this Friday night we're going to the skating rink, it typically was only the 2 high schools in that area that would go to that skating rink. But now, when you have all these flyers, and it's like, oh, let's do this teen takeover, the whole city comes. Neighboring cities, everybody hops in the car, people ordering Ubers, they all meet up, and then they just act a fool.
Like these and that. But especially this one. Why are we going across? Yeah, guys. And then they post stuff like this on their story. Like, are you serious? Can we make this longer and better than May Plaza? Go home.
Go home
now, because over the summer, all the innocent teenagers that are trying just to hang out with their friends, not gonna have any place to do it because you guys are gonna ruin everything.
And we're gonna get into that later in this video. This idea that the teenagers don't have anywhere to go, they don't have anything to do. They do. It just so happens. Like, where are the white kids at?
These teen takeovers are starting to look apocalyptic. I mean, look at this. These scenes all look...
On bed form, coon form, just to have them, if you will, which is just a fake life in this world.
Shalom, I want to start this off by giving honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shai, Wahwakak Wadash. Divine salutations, peace, and blessings to you, like men of Israel, starting with the apostles and our bishops, the great Millstone Church, on down to the rest of you brothers and the brothers I labor with, who all push forth the will and doctrine of Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shai, in all faith, truth, and sincerity, according to the true understanding of the scriptures. To all of you, I say shalom. So, apologies for the long-winded, introduction video, if you will, but it's just been a lot of information coming out. I've seen basically all these videos, going into the same topic, and through the spirit, the brother, the elder brother that I labor with, Sharia, he had did a lesson. And it's this one that you see on the screen right now, titled Meanwhile News, the narrative of Jake being public enemy #1 on a federal level is building, right? And I just thought through the spirit, this would basically be like a good land back to that same sentiment, that the brother's speaking about in the lesson that he did, as you can see, he's talking about the shooting that happened a few days ago over in DC, right? And this is basically how they trying to portray it, right? They already had the gunman or whatever the situation was, at that dinner, So they slowly and surely turning the spotlight on Jake again as being, public enemy #1. And it's interesting because when you look at Jake being at the bottom, being in any low state, like Jake fucked up, but Jake don't ever really get into plotting, big schemes for real. Just because they so caught up in curses themselves. So you see Esau coming up with with weak magic plays, you know, which again is the purpose and the play, the purpose, you know, that he's the purpose of this specific play within the playbook, if you will, right? Again, is order out of chaos, you know, order out of chaos, and he's gonna create chaos to bring forth the order that he wants, you know, the order that he gonna want, and that he's the order that he wants, right, is ultimately to persecute our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and American Indians, who are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, right? He's looking to persecute us, but more specifically, those that be of the elect, right? So they gonna persecute all of our people, right? But it's gonna keep getting more focused, and like how the brother is doing this lesson, and as you can see it, where it says gunman killed after opening fire outside of White House, believed he was Jesus Christ, right? You can see that they're trying to take this approach of a dangerous so-called black person that's, there's like a specific word I'm thinking of, but not necessarily religious, but like I'm trying to think what it is, what the word I'm thinking of. But basically, like a religious terrorist, if you will, if that makes sense. That's their goal, right? Because they gonna push a smear campaign so well that they can they gonna try to slander what it is that we do, which is simply just teaching the truth, the true wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Bible. You know what I'm saying? We go into what the Bible actually says, right? We talk about the truth, nothing but the truth, only the truth. The true wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus Christ, right? These are the things that we go into. These are the things that our people need to hear, right? You turn to the Lord how you need to, not being in a plantation, slaved version of the book, but you being in the true understanding of the book is what puts you in a position to where you're not looked at as a degenerate, through the Lord, right? When you look at, the whole free elect men, the men of the Lord, they're not caught up in all the things that you see Curse Jake, nigga Jake is into, They're not caught up in these systematic tools to consistently keep our people in a deady state. We're completely lively through the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, through his spirit, and that's what we are looking to profess to our people, and more specifically to the elect of our people. Because the Lord, he dealing with the elect of Israel, There ain't no respect to persons to that. It's the elect of Israel, spiritually then physically, right? So you have, if you notice the latter two clips, in this video, back here, like this right here, where you have this dude mentioning how they making social media pages and accounts, where Mush is talking about like where they looking to have these teen takeovers at, and through the spirit, when I seen this, I'm like, this could be Esau ass, setting this shit up behind closed doors again, looking to just get Jake out there, having Jake acting a fool, basically causing chaos, right? causing chaos so that way he can enforce the laws and rules that he want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like you see with this dude, you know, and all the shit he's saying, you know, again to be in position, you know, within this wicked world system, right? And he's going on to point out, you know, the curses that be of our people, you know. Jake, you so-called blacks and Negroes, like Native American Indians and Latinos, you know, all included, right? You're the main people on the face of the earth that don't have their fathers in their lives, right? That don't have the resources and aren't in, you know, good conditions to be able to take care of yourselves, you know? And again, it's because this place isn't your rest. This place isn't for you, and it's not set up to be for you, you know? The scriptures that the brother was bringing out in his lesson, he was bringing out towards the latter end of it. He was bringing out that Revelation 12 and 10, you know, going into the accuser of our brethren, right? Esau, Edom is the accuser. The wicked is the accuser, you know? They're looking to do this, again, to persecute our people, and more specifically, the elect. So that's why they're going to make us public enemy number one, because they're looking to prevent us from being able to preach this word and get this word out to all of our people, to put them in the right state of mind, you know? And the scriptures show that they going to be coming for, you know what I'm saying, both of us, right? Us that be in this truth, the hopeful elect, right? As well as 2/3 Jakes, you know? Jakes that choose to believe a lie, Jakes that choose to, you know, be caught up in the flesh, be caught up in this world, you know? And just doing as thou wilt. Right, versus doing the will of the Heavenly Father, our Heavenly Father, the Most High, you know, as Yahweh Shai did, right? But this is 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse, let me see, I'm going to start at 8. It says, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour, right? And the devil, you know, this isn't talking about just Satan. You know what I'm saying? You know, Satan could be attached to this, but really the devil that's being spoken about here is our adversary. You know, our adversary being our enemy being Esau, Edom, the wicked, starting with the elite banking families, because they're the ones that are always pulling the strings. They're the what would you call it? The puppeteers, you know, controlling the strings, pulling the strings. And they got a slew of different puppets, you know. You don't see, when you look at it, you don't ever see the puppeteer's face. You just see their hands, if you will, you know. And our enemy's hands is red. They red-handed, you know. And that's talking about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, because they not really white, just like how we're not really black, you know. If you really look at them, they're red. They're a derivative of red. We're not a derivative of black, you know. Or different shades of brown, right? But ultimately, the Lord don't call us black. He don't call us brown. He don't call them white. He called them Edomites and he called us Israelites, right? But it's our enemies that are looking to devour us, you know? And it says, verse 9, it says, whom resist steadfast in the faith, right? Those of us that are holding to this word, holding to the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that comes of it, and are going on to profess it, right? But it says, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. So they gonna look to jack up all of our people, including the 2/3. But it's all again targeted towards the elect, right? The elect of Israel. Those that are constantly pushing forth this word. Those that are debunking all of their witchcraft and their what's the word I'm looking for? All their propaganda, their subliminal messages, you know, all their psyops, right? Cutting through all of it and showing the truth, the reality. So that way our people don't constantly or consistently go on to believe a lie. But really, it's for the elect, you know? Those that are sincerely looking to get right and pay attention and no longer just do as they want to. No longer looking to reject or deny the Lord, you know? And that's what we got to be careful of, right? You got Matthew 10 and 16, right? Reading through, it says, "Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves." It says, "Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves." You know, we're the pure, innocent. You know, we're of the Lord, right? And again, we're constantly in a position to where we have, you know, those that are against us looking to devour us. You know, just as a wolf is looking to devour a sheep. So we've been sent amongst these, you know, these people that are looking to devour us. But again, for the purpose of bringing forth the Lord's word to discover their secret parts, to shine light on their secrets and the shit that they go on to try to do behind closed doors and the different agendas that they have for our people, right? So that way, those that are prudent, those that are looking to do what's right, they gonna get themselves right and basically steer clear, put themselves in good standing in the right position, you know, to where they not gonna get jacked up with the rest of those that chose not to, of those that chose to be ignorant, you know. But it says what? It says, "Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves." So we pay attention to how our enemy thinks, right? Because that same devil is that old serpent, right? As it says in Revelation 12, you know? That same old serpent that was, you know, deceiving Eve back in the garden, right? It's a consistent, constant adversary. One that works right along with Satan. So we got to pay attention to how our enemy moves and operates, right? That way we can continue to be in a pure and innocent state, which is that harmless as doves, you know? It says, "But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you with their and they will scourge you in their synagogues." You see? This is what they looking to do. And for some of us, they gonna get some of us, you know? And that's gonna be the martyrs, you know, but it's a blessing because we know the Lord, he make the days short and he make the times quick, you know what I'm saying? That the kingdom could be translated, you know what I'm saying, from one to another, right? It ain't gonna take long. It's gonna be quick and swift. You know, that's something to rejoice and be, you know, be, what's the word, comforted by. You know, even if you got to be that one that's delivered up, right? Because go on to say what? Verse 18, "And ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. You see, this is what we gonna have to deal with. You know, if we be a martyr, you know, or not, because the Lord might allow you to escape. You know, but nonetheless, this is their goal. They gonna be looking to, they gonna be looking to, you know, basically kidnap us and deliver us. You know, deliver us up to the governors, the kings, to be a part of they wicked councils. Because they wicked councils that they hold is to be, you know, confederate against us. You know, be of one accord, but against us, looking to devour us, looking to destroy us. You know, it says, but when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. You know, and that's beautiful, because our ain't shit. You know, our time down here ain't shit compared to the Lord. So I gladly take whatever come my way. You know, as long as I can make it, you know, onto the end to receive that salvation, whether it be getting beamed up directly or being brought, you know what I'm saying, from the grave, being raised back up, you know what I'm saying, and then being beamed up. Whatever the case may be. As long as I make it, that's my goal. That's what I'm worried about, you know. But that comes with getting your mind right and getting yourself right, paying attention to these things, and not reacting as the rest of our people gonna react. The rest of these people gonna react, you know. Scriptures talk about how people gonna be faint-hearted, you know. But you put your trust in the Lord versus, you know, in your flesh. The Lord, He gonna continue to guide you to where you gonna pay attention to that voice, so much to the point to where you gonna be given the words to speak in those moments. It's gonna be the exact words that are needed to keep you comforted, you know. So there's a beauty in that, you know, in regards to the Lord being there present to help, you know, get you out of all these different wicked devices in this system that's been set up through wickedness for more wickedness, right? But we can't be ignorant, right, as it says, of Satan's devices, right? Second Corinthians 2:11 says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. You see? So we not ignorant of his devices because we constantly read the scriptures. We take heed to what it goes on to say. Right? We pay attention to prophecy. You know? Scriptures say measure the times diligently. Right? We don't let the incredulity of these people affect us. Right? We know the manner of man that our enemy is. Right? Micah 2 and verse 2. Woe to them that devise iniquity, that work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. You see? It says, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. All the shit that the dude that's trying to run for mayor and shit, you know, all the shit that he talking, you know, he talking about there being an opportunity gap. Why is that? Because again, the system is set up to have us be at a disadvantage. Though they trying to act like they hate this shit, this is the shit that they want. I wouldn't be surprised if they the ones that setting up these accounts and picking these or pinpointing these, you know what I'm saying, specific locations to have mugs, you know, pull up and shit like that. But Jake ignorant, you know. Jake don't know no better. Why? Again, like how he mentioned, he said what 72% of black kids, so-called black kids, are being born into a single mother home. Why is that? Because again, it's the same cycle, right? They destroy the man in his mind, separate the man from the woman. Now the woman don't got structure, so now she ain't able to teach her kids to have the structure. Now she can't control her kids, and now her kids just out here being YNs and YBs, young niggas and young bitches. You know, this shit crazy. But this is the state of our people right now, you know, and it's through the captivity that our people are currently in, you know. We still enslaved to our enemy. That's why you can't love this world. That's why you can't love your life in this world, because it's polluted. That's why it says arise and depart. This is not your rest, right? I think it's in the same chapter. Yep. Micah 2:10. It says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. You see, it shall destroy you, even with the sure destruction. And that's the spirit, because you're starting off basically like it's giving you the different aspects of this world that we're a part of right now. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing good about it, and that's why this is the place to depart from. We depart from this place because we understand this isn't the world that be of the Most High, and that there's a world to come, right? 2 Ezra 8 and verse 1, it says, and he answered me, saying, the Most High hath made this world for many, but the world to come for few. You see? And that's what we got our eyes set on. We keeping our eyes single on this, that world to come. And it will come, you know? Though it tarry, wait for it, because it surely will come. It says, verse 3, right? There be many created, but few shall be saved. So we looking to be of that few, you know? Be of that innumerable multitude, right? That 1/3, the 144,000. The elect. Those who the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, choose and have chosen, you know? That's what we looking to do. That's what we looking to be a part of. That's why we going to take heed to seeing these things, discerning these things, being prudent, you know, and moving accordingly. You're not gonna catch no elect man out here in these fucking riots. You know what I'm saying? It's a teen takeover for one. But nonetheless, those that are paying attention gonna be able to see right through this, you know. And those that don't quite got it, but the Lord working with you, dealing with you, taking you out of it. You know what I'm saying? The Lord, he gonna give it to you. He gonna show it to you. You know, those that be of the elect, right? That's the whole purpose of us going on to profess the Lord's word, His wisdom, His knowledge, His understanding, His doctrine. We profess it to our people so that way we can continue to bring in, build our people, the elect, ultimately, right, onto the marriage. You know, this is what we gotta endure. We endure all these things for the elect's sake, and Lord willing, we be of the elect, right? But just like the brother was going on to mention in that Revelation 12, right? Our enemy, they gonna be discovered. They gonna be known across the whole earth, and really the Lord is already having it happen. But it's gonna get to a point to where can't nobody deny nothing any longer. You can't try to live in your bullshit imaginations. Everybody gonna have to deal with the truth. Everybody gonna have to deal with reality. Every knee gonna bow. Ain't gonna be no more talks of CJ and Yeshua, Yehoshua, whatever other fuck ass names they come up with. It's Yahweh, Bahashem, in the name of Yahweh Shai. That's the Most High and His only begotten Son, the Anointed, our salvation, right? The Messiah. That's Yahweh Shai. Yahweh being the Most High, and Yahweh Shai being the Messiah, the Anointed, our Savior. So be cautious and be aware, pay attention to this, you know? Don't get yourself caught up in the midst of this. So that way you can put yourself in position to receive it as salvation. So that's pretty much the point. The Lord one's been edifying with that. I'm going to give honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Wahawa Kakwadash. Till next time, Shalom.